Good day, gamers. Fortain here, and welcome to episode 3 of Minecraft, the Betweenlands. Hello, everyone. I'm doing well, and I hope you're doing well as well. Today, we're going to be showing off some slight modifications that I've been making to our little starter base here. We're going to continue our pot hunt to attempt to get some materials that I'm going to need to be able to make the different tools to have access to better food, more interesting things, as well as the beginnings, although it's going to be a very rough beginnings, of the start of the eventual center base. Not much has really changed. I did go out, and if you take a look right here, you'll notice that this weedwoods tree is kind of has a lot of its top cut off. I've been going out every now and again and just collecting some of the wood from the tree. I currently have it in this chest here, along with some planks and plenty of sticks. Nothing else. I haven't been like exploring anything or really collecting anything. I had like one attack by a couple crabs and killed them, so nothing else has dropped, nothing else new has happened. I did expand in here ever so slightly, so I've completed the sides here. The roof has a bit more of a uniform look, and then outside I basically fully secured this area. Hello there, White. I see you heading over this way. Out here I have fully made a little platform to stand on. Oh, here he comes. Alright, there he is. I knew he was going to start attacking. Unfortunately, I wasn't doing very much damage to him because my my thing is very... There we go. My little slingshot, A, doesn't do much damage to begin with, and B is also very corroded. Go back inside real quick. Close the door, have a frog leg, and we'll continue what we was talking about. Yeah, it's moderately corroded. I'd make a new one. I'll be working on that actually today, as a matter of fact. But to what I was saying, I have a little platform that I can walk around out here with some mushrooms just to give a little, you know, a little ambient lighting for this area. Tree is growing, you know, quite nicely. I've got this outer section finished off. Like I said, just a little bit of cosmetic improvements, nothing actual, like, super buildy to this little starter base here. The main thing that I'm going to be doing today, like I said, going out hunting more pots. I would like to make a little... I'd like to make a little lantern on the inside here. I also need to go and gather the materials to make what is called the purifier. The purifier is used to remove the corrosion from my tools and such. I'm not going to use it too much right now, because mostly when I combine tools together, it removes all the corrosion. But at the same time, I'm not going to be using this pickaxe in a very corroded state, because there's a chance the more corrosion your tool has, there's a chance for it to not actually harvest the block that you're trying to harvest. And so I'd rather not have that happen. I'd rather just make a new set of tools, and then when I need to, go ahead and remove the corrosion from whatever's bad. But I don't want to spend, you know... Oh, that's not what I meant to make. That's fine. But I don't want to spend, like, too many resources on it. So for right now, we're just going to make a couple extra weedwood shovels just to have them. Slingshot. Guess I could make one more slingshot just because I have the materials, but again, I don't want to waste... It's the kind of thing of... I obviously don't want to create new tools and then just combine the tools that are corroded but don't have anything else wrong with them. I don't want to just combine them up and then waste the durability on them. But at the same time, I don't want to be attempting to use tools that are like incredibly corroded and then keep running the possibility of not getting any drops from the blocks that I'm mining. Also, it is again very dark. I do apologize. It unfortunately it is what it is. It is very often nighttime here in the Betweenlands, and while I'm not exactly timing it, or at least attempting to time my recording to when it is going to be daytime, there are definitely going to be times where, hey, it's time to record the next episode, and 2 minutes in or whatever, it's just dark. So I do apologize for the times where it's somewhat hard to see. I will do my best to make sure that you all are able to see whatever you can, but if you can't, I again do apologize. Once I get access to things like the night vision potions and stuff, that'll be a non-issue, but for now we just kind of have to deal with it. So what I'm collecting at the moment is silt. It does slow you down a little bit to walk through. Not as much as the mud, thankfully enough, but it does slow you down a little bit. But the silt is the Betweenlands version of sand, essentially. What I'm going to do, because I'd like to have a slightly different way of lighting up the interior here, is I'm going to make a lantern, specifically the silt glass lantern. Take some silt glass panes and a firefly, which I've managed to capture a few already. The glass panes are used by making silt glass. Silt glass is just simply smelting the silt in our dual sulfur furnace. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Smelt 3 here, smelt 3 here. Put away the poison gland. Just got some basic inventory going on at the moment. I've got fully ready to eat foods down here based on their saturation restoration. I've got raw foods up here, stuff that I need to either cook or craft. I've got a little spot over here for Chiramaw wings that I will use essentially as an emergency. I need everything to taste better. Let me just eat one of those. And then a spot over here for balls of sap. So that way I can continue refreshing my decay bar. All right, so we have our silt glass here. We're going to go ahead and turn the silt glass into panes. We're going to grab one of the fireflies that I happened to grab with a net before. And what else do we need? We need some weedwood planks and plank slabs, so easy enough to make. There we go, there's our slabs. We have ourselves a silt glass lantern. These provide as much light as a, I want to say like a block of glowstone. And I'm just going to hollow out right there. Place the lantern. And if you I think if you right click the lantern, if you have nothing, nope. Second. Nope. I thought you could turn the lantern. Maybe it's just the paper lanterns you can turn. Nope, that's fine. So I can take away the mushroom. Put the mushroom away. Probably in the food chest. Boop. And a boop. And there we go. So now I have a little lantern that keeps the place lit. I don't have to worry about having just a mushroom right here that's blocking. I mean, I could reach around the mushroom to get to the crafting table, but it's also not blocking the crafting table. Okay. We've got some fresh tools. They are starting to get a little corroded already just from swimming. So I do believe it's time for us to go, like I said, hunting some more pots. I'm going to take the crafting table with us. And I will also take just a little bit of wood with me in case I need to make any tools while I'm out and about. We were pot hunting in this direction. We have a pot here that we can try and grab. Hello, fish. I did. Yeah, let's have some swamp dirt on us as well. Okay. There was a fish here. Oh, hi. What kind of fish are you? Skittish fantail grazer. Did I kill it? Nope. Killed it now. See it. Oh well. I know. Oh, there it is. I know there's a fishing mini game that you. Hi, do you mind? Well, I'm gonna fight you with a better slingshot at the moment. I know there is a fishing pole that you can make to be able to actually fish up the fish better, get more drops and stuff from them. Come on. Oh, did I kill it? I killed it. Good. All right. Those, like I said, they can be incredibly difficult to oh, good. I got a white heart. Nice. Those are good to get. All right. But yeah, the whites are rather difficult to fight and can be very damaging very fast. But thankfully enough, I managed to kill that one okay-ish. All right. Back to the pot hunt. Hoping for octine, hoping for Symarite, and just looking to get whatever good stuff we can from these pots. The better stuff we can get, the quicker we have access to more things. Alright, up we go. Anything from that one? Nothing it looked like. Oh well. Again, the pots of chance have a chance to drop stuff. It's not guaranteed. Okay. There we go. Let us go ahead and grab some. There we go. Oop, don't. Ow. Thank you. These hollow logs, when you break them, drop dry bark. Ah, it's daytime. Thank goodness, I can see now. But with the dry bark, you can make paper, and with the paper, you can actually make maps, similar to vanilla Minecraft maps. But these maps that you can make with this, will actually show you what type of features are around. So, for example, if you're heading towards a certain like boss structure, you'll be able to see, hey, on the map there's a boss structure right there. If you have a deep cave area, those have a specific structure that will appear on the map. Plus it's just kind of neat to map out the areas. So eventually I will be doing that, but for right now I kind of just want to continue exploring with oh, got some Symarite nuggets, very nice. We got the pot here. Any other pots? Ah, got a pot there. Okay, grab this pot. Boop. Ah, kill the termite. Kill it dead. Thank you. Later on, I will definitely be mapping the area around, but for now, just kind of wander around. Okay. And up. How's my donuts doing? Have another donut. Have a ball of sap. And we'll go ahead and swap to one of my crab sticks. Oh, it is so much easier to see now it's daytime. Okay, easiest way to head up here. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to place blocks there. I can place blocks here. Again, I could just be like, you know, dirt pillaring up. I don't have to be using the ladders like this. I just kind of am because I want to. That's all. Okay. That is all the pots that are here. Let's grab our ladders back and continue on. The main thing that I'm looking for, like I said, beyond the pots themselves, is I'm looking for an area of crag rock. The crag rock is going to be needed for making the purifier, a mortar and pestle that I'll be able to use to crush certain dried. Let's go ahead and get rid of that pot hunting. That was just a reminder where I was at. But I can use it to make different ground things, which will be useful in crafting potions later on. As well as if I take the swamp reeds, dry them in the furnace, the sulfur furnace, and then grind them up, I can use them as bone meal. Or this world's version of bone meal. So if I get some saplings, I'll be able to grow them at my base instead of having to run around trying to find those specific trees, which will be very helpful for certain trees. Okay. We've got a fair amount of between stone pebbles, and we have like next to no inventory space. Hi, Chiramaw. Go. And have a crabby stick. Continue on. Let's see. I don't see any pots here. I do see plenty of swamp reed, which is always appreciated. Grab that while we're out. Of course, as always happens this early in the game, my inventory is very quickly filling up. That's okay. Make a trip back in a bit. Hi there. We'll make a trip back in a bit to empty out our inventory and continue on. Alrighty. See plenty of nibble twigs, which is good. We've got some of these giant roots here. And also the kind of shelf fungus that grows on these roots. And when we're in an area that has these giant roots, that usually means we're close to the... Oh, hey there, little mushroom dude. I'm sorry, little mushroom guys. I am not going after you, I promise. Even though it looks like I'm chasing you, I promise I'm not. Yes, I'm gonna go this way, little mushroom dude. I will have to fight the little mushroom dudes later on to get some things from them, but for right now, I don't want to. But yeah, usually when you start seeing these giant roots, it means you're in an area where you can start finding crag rock. And we're going to need crag rock specifically to make a few things. In fact, here we go. Here's some crag rock here. Let's make a spot. So all of this is mossy crag rock top and mossy crag rock bottom. I can, with the purifier, purify it into just straight crag rock. But I want to see if I... Oh, okay. I saw the red glow around this, these are called volar pads. I thought one of them was on fire. It's, yeah, that right there. It's the firefly was underneath it. I'm like, what the heck? Okay. Interesting. And it's getting foggy. Let's have a couple balls of sap. Food is good for the moment. Let's switch to my frog legs. Hi, little lizard. Let me dig into this crag rock here. See if I can find any crag rock directly. Hey, here we go, crag rock. Perfect. So I don't need the crag rock top or bottom. I just need the crag rock itself. So let's go ahead and dig down and grab some of that. So this is going to be used for a couple things. This is going to be used for the mortar and pestle, and I believe it's used for the purifier as well, although it's been little bits. Okay, and my inventory is very full right now. Let's go ahead and combine these two swords. Can I combine these two axes? Nope, not yet. Almost, but not quite. Just go ahead and get a fair amount before we head back to base to drop it off. Yeah, the crag rock itself is used for the repeller, the mortar and pestle. We can also make some walls and stairs and stuff. As well as we can smelt it into smooth crag rock, again, for some decorative stuff. I haven't fully decided on what materials I'm going to be using to make center base. I've got a couple ideas. I may go with the original. Try that again. I may go with the original design that I used back when I was playing Sevtech, of what was essentially a giant manufactured weedwood tree. If you take a look, you'll be able to see some places where there will be essentially giant weedwood trees that have the top chopped off of them. So, let's see. Don't see any around in the moment. But yeah, think of like the tree that I've got around at starter base, but just with the top chopped off. Those have dendrothrist in them. And they look really neat. And so what I did before is I just essentially, by chopping down a bunch of weedwood trees, I just crafted a giant version of one of those. And that was center base. Just taking a look around real quick, seeing if I see anything else. We got a bunch of blue flowers here, which will be helpful later on. Cannot collect the blue flowers at the moment, so I'm just going to leave them be. But we've got plenty of crag rock, so we can start getting the mortar and pestle going, which will be useful. Hello, frogs. Can I get some... Oh, hello. I would say there must be a lurker around. I'm seeing some floating wings. I do not want to mess with the lurker. They do a very large amount of damage very fast. And I cannot withstand that damage right now. They can also swim a lot faster than I can. So the idea of like trying to shoot them while I'm in a rowboat, it doesn't work. Just doesn't work. Speaking of rowboat, let's go ahead and get my boat out. And we'll go ahead and start heading back. Go ahead and start heading back towards center base here. Go. Alright, we're back to just Apache Islands. That's fine. Go ahead and have a frog leg. Ball of sap. Another frog leg. Food's doing okay. Swap over. And back to center base we go. Which is going to be... yes. Just taking a look at the mini-map up in the corner there to see which direction I need to go. We will... oh, there's a bunch of crabs there. But we'll offload this stuff real quick. And then head back out looking for more pots. Bunch of snails here. Snails are always good. Ah, they're center... or, I was about to say they're center base, but nope, it's just starter base. Go ahead and cook up the food that we got as well. Like I said, continue out hunting for more pots. There we go. Home sweet starter base. We'll go ahead and drop off the food to begin with. Oop. I didn't collect much food at the moment, but that's okay. We did get some more arrows. We're getting close, it looks like, to being able to start using the bow. We just haven't gotten there yet. Swap that for that. Okay. Let's take the snail flesh that we got. Oh, we can make... we'll be able to make sushi later on. Neat. Yeah, we... oh, look at that. Smoked anadilla meat. That is really good. Well, once we make the smoker, it'll come in very handy. All right, so taking the crag rock that we got, let's go ahead and set down the crafting table again. We definitely want to make the pestle. We got that. And then we also want to make the mortar. Just like that. All you have to do is set it in the corner, add the pestle to it, and then what you can do is you put the items that you want to grind in this side. You right click it a few times, or left click it. We'll see. We'll take a dried swamp reed and just test it out. Put that in there, and it grinds it up. And there we go. Ground dried swamp reed, which again we'll be able to use as a bone meal thing. Now it does have a slot in the top here for what are called life crystals, which we won't be getting anytime soon. But what the life crystal does is, using a bit of internal energy, it automates the process. It will just continuously grind and grind and grind whatever you put in there to make its stuff. Hello, angler. I would like to attempt to fight you because I need your tooth, specifically for the smoker. It does use durability on the pestle, as you can see. That durability can be restored using the animator, which again will be a later thing, not a now thing. Hi there. Okay. There we go. Hi, fish. Unfortunately, once again, did not get... Hi there. Go ahead and use the slingshot here. Kind of outranging me, but that's okay. Switch over to the frog leg. Actually, let's switch to the donut here. Come on, anglerfish. Oh. I think I'm hitting it. Oh, a little farther away. Nope, I'm gonna have to go after it directly. That's fine. I want the angler tooth so that I can make the smoker, because making the smoker gives me another way to cook foods and makes it so I have more options for eating said foods. There we go. I got an angler tooth. I got an angler tooth. Finally. The drop rate on those are not great, but that's okay. But yeah, angler tooth. We can use it to make a fishing spear, which will be good. But mostly I'm going to be looking for the smoking rack. Now, I can also make arrows out of them, and once I have a ton, I'll make arrows, but right now I don't. The smoking rack does require to have a bit of peat, some smoldering peat underneath it, and then you use fallen leaves to smoke stuff. I don't have the ability yet to get fallen leaves because, again, that takes shears, but it is still good to have the angler tooth to be able to make that hopefully soon. So while it doesn't give me the thing that I'm looking for this second, it is helpful to have for when I gain access to it. Okay, let's see. Let's continue on looking for some pots. Let's see. Let's eat some more balls of sap. Regenerate that. Go. Have another donut. We've got our cooked Anadia meat. And let's go ahead and cook our frog legs as well, and we'll be able to eat those when we get back. Okay. Back out we go. Take a look at my map real quick. This way. All right. We do have a shallow breath over there. We do also have a Cheermaw. Nothing that can't be fought, but I just do have to be careful, especially if they start both fighting at the same time. Okay. Oh, I see some pots in the distance. Let's go and collect them. Or hopefully collect what's inside them. Avoiding the mud. But yeah, later on, once we have a bit of octane, we'll be able to take this peat, this stuff right here, and we'll be able to light it on fire, and that will provide a heat source for things like the smoking rack and such. But alas, at the moment we cannot. But that's okay. We shall get there eventually, as we do with many things. Okay. Ladder on up to our first pot. See what we get. I do see the shallow breath. Pretty sure I'm hitting it, considering I see my stones kind of just disappearing. It's not heading towards me at the second. Oh, got another note. Very nice. I accidentally left my crafting table back at base. Oh well. Next pot. Up we go. Oh, good second hit. Not enough to kill it. There we go. Termite dead. Moving on. No drops from the termite, unfortunately, as usual. But we'll ladder up and see what we get from this pot. Nice extra hits. I try when I can to get that secondary hit on the the termite as it's falling down. I don't always get it, but it can be useful to try and kill it quicker that way. I'm guessing I did kill that shallow breath, or it went far enough away to despawn, maybe? I don't see it. That's a good thing. Let's go ahead and grab more swamp reeds. Be able to cook those when I get back home. I do also want to see if... Oh, there's another shallow breath. I do also want to see if I can find a rubber tree. Once I find a rubber tree, I can start getting rubber from it and use that to make some boots. That'll make it so I don't get stuck in the mud as easily. We got a lurker there. Head around the lurker. Hi there, guys. I need your snail flesh, please. Cute. A lot of swamp reeds around here. That's very nice. Oh, got a snail shell. Perfect. Those are used for a couple things. You can grind them up and you get some aspects from them. Hi there. What's heading towards me? Ah, just the lurker shifting around. Keeping a very close eye anytime I see a red dot heading towards me, like, okay, what are you? There's a menhir stone over there, and there's a hag. Not very difficult, but you need to be somewhat wary of. Speaking of hag, it's coming towards me, so... Rawr, rawr. Yes, I know. Hey, got a bone. Perfect. In fact, that should be enough bones for me to make probably like a pickaxe or something. Go ahead and grab some more pebbles. Let's see. That's another lurker. Oh, starting to rain. We're in a giant swamp, so rain is not surprising. Go ahead and have some Oh, hello there. I completely missed that looking off to the side. That, I do believe, is an idol head. So what idol heads are basically, they are what they sound like. They are statues, shaped like, you know, the head of an idol, whatever kind of idol is, you know, unknown. But something very useful about them, and there we go. You get an advancement, first off. That is always very helpful. Their eyes are made out of octane blocks. So yeah, that is just straight up a block of octane. So let's actually go ahead and make our way up here. And that will give me a very... Ha! That's a block of octane, folks. Not only that, there's a second one over here. Let's dig our way over to the other side. So octane is used to make a few things. So if we take a look, the octane block itself is not used for anything. It's just to store ingots. But we can make the purifier, which is good for getting corrosion off of stuff. We can make octane weapons, shovels. We can make an octane shield, which when we block, sets enemies on fire. Axes, the octane arrows, which will set enemies on fire as we shoot them. But it also has the infuser. The infuser and the alembic are what we're going to be needing for making all of the potions later on. Again, not anytime soon will we be making the potions, but it's going to be very good to have when we get there. The nuggets... Oh, excuse me. The nuggets themselves are used for the fishing float and hook. So it's part of the full, like, fishing mini game. Collecting the crag rock is nice. I don't need the mossy crag rock bottom, so I'm just gonna like place those blocks here. But the other very nice thing about these idle heads is if you dig down into the center of them, there is almost always a weedwood chest in here. Take just a moment to find. Inventory is very full. Let's see. That's doing okay. It's gonna most likely be under one of these blocks. There it is. Weedwood chest. So it's got some goodies in it. Most importantly, it's got 5, 6, 7. I think that's enough Sirmarite to make at least 1 ingot. Not enough to make a full-on... not enough to make a set of shears, but we're getting closer. We're also getting some sulfur. We get another octane ingot, which is very appreciated. And I just now got the advancement, new shinies. Let's take a look at the advancements real quick. If we take a look... new shinies. Obtain a Sirmarite or octane ingot. Well, we got that now. The other one that we got was... Idolized. Discover an idle head. So we got that. Very helpful. Let's actually go ahead and mark this right here. I'm just going to put idle head, and we're going to put IP for in progress, aka we haven't fully looted it yet. And we're just going to turn it off for right now, just so the little marker isn't showing all the time. What else do we want from here? Keep the shock arrows. We'll toss away the mossy crag rock. I do want to come back here and loot it. But for now, let's see. Dig that. And we'll place a piece of swamp dirt. There we go. I can walk now. Did I not pick up? Ah, there we go. Now I picked up the mud. There we go. I'm just wanting to dig down deep enough to have a piece of not mud to be standing on, because you can't really jump on mud. Mud, we can make compacted mud. We can also smelt it to the mud bricks. And then... Ah, yes, we need bricks for the steeping pot. To make tea. Well, we can't make tea yet, but eventually we'll be able to make tea. Okay, so yeah, definitely coming back to get the rest of this stuff from this idle head. But for now, we need to go empty our inventory. Let's go do such things. Off we go. Back to the starter base. But yeah, that was a really good find. That's going to be very helpful. And I'll actually show off the heat here. That is a red snail. Run away from the red snail. Oh, that... Well, I'll have to see how much Searmorite I have. I was about to say, oh yeah, I can show off the smoker. But I can't really yet, because I can't collect the fallen leaves just yet. Alright, so there's a lurker. Dodge around the lurker. Don't want to engage the big alligator guy. Hi, you're gonna come be a nuisance. Go. Grab the cannot talk right now. Grab the Chiromaw wing. Like I said, head back to our base. But we can also use that as a marker to, continue heading back in that direction for more stuff. There's our starter base. Oh, lightning. Oh, sparkage. Oh. Ah ha ha. So as you saw, there is a worm that was crawling towards me. You see those little sparks of lightning that are happening right there? That means it's starting to get those little worm spawners. So we'll have to be careful. Hi, lurker. Or not lurker, but angler. Okay. You're safe inside. Go ahead and have ourselves a donut. Okay. Empty the inventory, because the inventory is very full. Boop, boop, boop. Chiromaw wing. We have enough. We now have enough. Yes! Oh, that's awesome. That is very awesome. We now have enough Searmorite to create a set of shears, which will now give us access to some very good things. So while it rains and storms outside, here we are safe in our little tree. So we take the Searmorite nuggets, make Searmorite ingots. The ingots themselves can be used to make several things: barrels, a fishing rod, shears, a shield. You can make armor out of it. It is effectively the equivalent of iron, so you can make armor out of it as well. But mostly what we're going to be using it for... Anchor, great in itself. Ooh, the compost bin. We're mostly going to be using it to make shears. With these shears, we can now grab the fallen leaves. With the fallen leaves, we can now start using the smoker to smoke things. Again, the smoked items are not that much better. If we take a look, let's see, let's take a look at the snail meat, for example. The seared snail flesh is 2 and 2.5. The smoked snail flesh is honestly better. It's 3 and, what is that, 3 and 5.5. So it is actually better to cook the snail that way. Taking a look at the... Let's see, the angler. The angler doesn't drop any meat. But, for example, like the crab claw. Oh, holy cow, look at that increase. So I can take the crab claws and I can turn them into crab sticks. Or I can just smoke the crab claw itself and make it 2 and 3.5. Whereas the crab stick itself is 2.5, 4.5. But I can also smoke the crab stick to fully restore my my saturation. Jeebus, that is going to be super helpful. And remember, a crab stick is made out of 3 crabs, so that is an amazing increase in the amount of saturation. That's going to be one of those, I need to refill my saturation bar now. and it has the same food decay, food sickness stuff as all of the other foods. So, okay then. Yeah, that is that is going to be an awesome go-to food. Okay. So, yes, going through all the fun stuff we can now make. Very, very helpful. We need to make the smoker. Smoking rack, excuse me. So weedwood sticks, a reed rope, and an angler tooth. We have weedwood sticks. We have rope. We can now make the smoking rack. There we go. We need to go out and... Is it still raining? It is not raining. Good. We need to go out and collect fallen leaves. And then we need to collect some peat. Be easy to do. Sorry, I was not expecting to be able to get both the Searmerite and the Octine that I needed in today's episode. So I'm kind of going through the things that I was looking to do, be like, oh, I can do this now. I can do this now. I can do this now. Hi, fish. Hi, Cheermo. Hi, you have a little guy on you. Hi, do you... Fish, can you please? Thank you. I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna eat it. Oh, there was 2 fish out there. Ah, I wonder. Eat a crab stick and think about things for a moment. Heal up. Let's eat some of this cooked Anadia meat. Okay. That's better. Did the fish drop anything? I don't think the fish dropped anything. Okay. Oh well, I was hoping for another angler tooth, but didn't look like it dropped anything. Alright, that's fine. In any event, what I was saying originally... Keeping an eye on this Chiramaw, because he's got a little rider and I don't want him to be hostile to me. If we go get a little bit of peat, we can light the peat and then extinguish it, and that will make smoldering peat. So we've seen some smoldering peat as we've been walking around. Take the front. Oh. Hello, lightning. Lightning with the thunder. Sparkage. Okay. We'll grab some peat. We'll grab a bit more just to have it. Thank you. Okay, you keep getting like very close to me. I don't know how much damage you do, and I really don't want to fight you. Especially with just a little bitty slingshot. So please go away, you and your rider. Alright. As I was saying before, the main usefulness of having the shears is allowing you to collect all of the different plants that are here in the Betweenlands. So if I go to this tall cattail and I try and just punch it with my hand, I get nothing. You get nothing from it. But with the shears, it allows you to actually collect it. So, swamp tallgrass, you get nothing. With the shears, boop, I now get the tall cattail. Now, there's not much of anything I can do with it right now. But later on, when I get access to the scythe, I can start breaking down I can break down the tall cattail into ground tall cattail, and then be able to use that to gain aspects from. Again, not something I can really do at the moment, but it does give me access to it later on. Same thing with these bone sets. If I had to try to just smack it now, I get nothing. If I grab... There we go. If I grab the shear, if I grab it with the shears, I can collect it for later on. Okay. I do need my crabs. Do need some falling leaves. Got plenty of ammo. Hi, crab. Yes, just run directly towards me. That's greatly appreciated, and I can get your crab claws. Ooh, hello, lurker. Goodbye, lurker. Don't want to tussle with you yet. Right. It's probably a lurker down there. I'm not seeing any fallen leaves. I forget, can I create fallen leaves? Say a lot of moss. A lot of moss is helpful, but no fallen leaves. Ah! Actually, here we go. Fallen leaves. Perfect. No, I can't craft them. That's fine. Basically, the fallen leaves generate randomly as you are, you know, just like, they'll just randomly generate from underneath leaf blocks. But when you're chopping down leaves, it can also generate them. So it's good to collect them. And again, you have to have shears to collect them. Over and around. Getting all the fallen leaves we can. Now, I don't want to use the shears too much, because until I get access to more Simmerite, I won't be able to make more, and I won't be able to repair them until I get access to the infuser. Hi there. Oh, you're a leech. Leeches are not a big deal. But they do very hurt. They do very much hurt. Very much badly hurt. Okay. Leeches aren't a big deal, he says as the leech comes very close to killing. Oh, that would have been very bad. But we're good. We're fine. Have another fried frog leg. Okay. To show this off, because I don't want to set my house on fire. Dig this block out. We take the peat. Put the block of peat there. Let me grab one of the octane ingots. Go inside, grab an octane ingot. Let's grab a crab stick and some crab claws, because why not? Actually, let's make, boop, and then we'll just smoke these because we can. Let us see how these things work, because this stuff is the parts of the game that were added well after this was finished being updated in SevTech. So things like, hi lurker, you can swim over there, it's fine. So things like the smoker and having smoked things and the fishing mini game and stuff, I've never been able to play with that because that didn't exist back in the day. Lurker, can you please, lurker, I'm gonna make a fire here. I don't want you to catch on fire. All right, octane ingot works like the flint and steel. Right click. Let's see. Got to take the shield off, I think. No, shift right click. Shift left click. Nope. You should. Okay, well. Moss on the peat. Ah, hot enough to set moss on fire. Fair enough. And on fire. So now we got 2 advancements, Pyromaniac and Quest for Fire. We take a look at those advancements. Pyromaniac, set moss on fire with an octane ingot, and Quest for Fire, set peat on fire. Cool. Very glad that that worked. We take the smoking rack, place it on top of here. This will now smoke stuff. So it uses fallen leaves as fuel, essentially, but uses the heat of the smoldering peat. So we take a crab claw, we add fallen leaves, and let's see. So yeah, it takes about 10-ish seconds to make one thing. There we go. We now have a smoked crab claw, and we got the advancement authentic flavors. That is gonna be, let's see, where's that advancement? Ah, right here. Wow, we passed a lot of stuff to get authentic flavor. Use a smoking rack to smoke some food. We're gonna get to the point where we're crafting a weedwood fishing rod, and then catching in an idea with a weedwood fishing rod, and then using fish guts to craft to use a trimming table. We're gonna get there. I promise we're gonna get there. We just kind of accidentally skipped all that, and now have a smoking rack. But again, this means that we'll be able to make some different foods, and we'll also be able to make better foods. Oh, look at that. You can actually see it hanging in there. That's neat. That looks cool. Look at this little snail. You might be on the smoking rack soon. All right. Yeah, and we can even see the little meter going up here for showing how much smoke it's creating. And boop. Smoked crab stick. Look how much saturation that smoked crab stick restores. Holy cow. And then, yeah, the snail flesh, cooking it is 2.5. Smoking it is 5.5. Tons better. Hi there, snail. I would like your flesh, please. So I do have a question. This is something I'm going to test real quick. We have some crab stick. Can I smoke all 3 of these at the same time? So let's do 1 crab claw, 1 crab stick, and 1 raw snail flesh. It doesn't matter to me all that much if I'm like wasting the fallen leaves. I will be careful with it in the future because this is all testing. But if I just do 1 fallen leaf, is that enough to do everything at once? It is. Look at that. Nice. Smoked, smoked, and smoked. That is awesome. That is really cool. So if I want to make the fallen leaves that I gather last even longer, I just make sure that I have all 3 of those slots filled up, and I can smoke 3 things at once for the cost of a single thing of fallen leaves. That is amazing. Again, I'm not too hard pressed in the idea of, oh no, I wasted like 2 things of fallen leaves by not collecting or not cooking multiple things at once. It's not a big deal. There's definitely something to be said about testing things out to find out exactly how they work. And if you use a little extra material during your first tests, it is perfectly fine. But now I have multiple ways to cook food, multiple foods that I can make, and I can even start grinding my own bone meal-like substance to be able to grow trees. I will go ahead and grab the smoking rack, bring it inside. Thankfully enough, standing on the smoldering peat doesn't do anything. I'm pretty sure that if I dig this up, yeah, just even hitting it with the shovel is enough for it to become unsmoldering. Oh. I hear a little music guy. Hey, Snail. It's a little music guy playing some music. Oh. Aw. He disappeared. I was gonna sit here and listen to the little music guy and have him serenade us off. Aw. But that's okay. But I do think that we'll go ahead and end here. That was, again, a very good set of finds. I was not expecting to be able to find both enough octine to make an octine ingot to be able to start setting peat on fire, enough ceremerite to make the ceremerite shears to be able to start collecting fallen leaves, and or an angler tooth to be able to make the smoking rack itself to be able to start smoking foods. So again, that is going to be a very, very good ability for me to start for me to start diversifying the amounts of foods that I can eat. I am running low on balls of sap, so I do want to probably pretty soon. Let's see, I'm just kind of emptying my inventory here. I definitely have to reorganize my food now because I have more sources of food. As I do need to create more chests, but that's gonna be fine. I would like, let's see, that's nibble twig, that's a sap tree. I want to see how much, as a final thing, just as a quick final thing, I want to see how much of the how much of this ground dried swamp reed it takes to grow a tree. What I was about to say earlier was I'm getting very low on sap balls. So I want to make sure that I can continuously gain more and more sap balls without having to like really go further and further out. Okay. Yep. Now, thankfully enough, making another pestle only takes a little bit of crag rock and a weedwood stick. So if I don't have the ability to heal this in the animator, I can just make more pestles and then combine them as you would with any other tool. Blump of hydration. But I'm curious. Oh, there's another sap tree there. Okay, I'll probably do that off camera. Take a bit of time to just gather some more sap so I've got plenty of it. But I also want to see this real quick. Okay. Sap tree. Let's give it, let's say, this amount of space. Oop. Hey, there we go. Sap tree. Very nice. So it's like bone meal. It has a chance of doing it. Might take a bit of bone meal, aka a bit of dry ground swamp reed. But as you've been seeing, we've been able to collect plenty of swamp reed pretty easily. Grows pretty well around. Hello, lurker. And yeah, eventually we'll be just like farming it as we would any other material. So yeah, I think off camera, I'll grab some more sap. So we got plenty of that. And yeah, so next episode we will, exactly, little snail guy. We may have to start bringing the bow along with us because we've got better food now. We're gonna need some armor. Main way to get some armor, as well as some other things, is to start hunting those lurkers. So I think that may be our next episode, is going a hunting for some lurkers. Smoked crab stick. It fully and completely fills your saturation. That is awesome. And for the low cost of 5 food sickness. Yeah. Hell yeah. That is some awesome food. But hunting lurkers and trying to get their skins to make armor and carrying pouches and things of that nature, we'll have to wait until next time. But until next time, thank you all so very much for watching. Thank you for coming with me along this journey. I hope you have a good day and good game.